Hey everybody, it's LavenderTowne, and today I'm going to be turning yokai into cute girls. Now, we're starting with the Kasa Obake, which just means umbrella monster. And if you don't know what a yokai is, it's basically just like a folklore sort of monster or a mythological creature, sort of like a Japanese cryptid. Basically, I just wanted to turn them all into cute girls. Now, I wanted to start kind of difficult, so I started with literally an umbrella. Basically, they're usually just drawn as umbrellas with one eye, one leg, a varying amount of arms. I went with 2 for our girl because she was already short one limb, and usually they have their tongues sticking out. So I decided to do this sort of like cute gremlin girl. Kasa Obake are interesting because unlike a lot of these other sort of yokai creatures, there isn't much of a story that comes along with them. It seems like they just keep sort of being illustrated in all this like ancient Japanese stuff, and no one really knows what the Kasa Obake is supposed to do, whether they're even harmful or if they're like supposed to be beneficial. So she ended up just having a sort of general chaotic sort of personality because I didn't really know if she was supposed to be evil or not. In the end, I think she looks really cute. I have a huge soft spot for Cyclops characters, so I actually really liked giving her only one eye. The reference picture up at the top to the right is from Yokai Watch, so you can see another sort of cutified version, but I wanted to humanize her a little bit more for the cute girls sort of theme. I think she ended up also looking a bit like a scarecrow. Somebody else said that when they saw it. And then I just gave her sort of a soft general shade and then some cell shading on top, just to give her some nice dimension as she was looking kind of flat. I think her foot looks really crazy. I wanted to cover it up just because I didn't want to draw those nasty nails that I kept seeing on the feet of these Kasa Obake, but it ends up looking very strange, her hands as well. I think I hid the fact that she only has one leg a little bit, but if you focus on that area, it's definitely clear that she only has the one. After a little bit of highlighting, she's basically done. So let me know if you have a name for her down in the comments and I'll pick it in the next Cute Girls video. You guys know the drill. The next yokai I want to draw is a bit more of a modern one and a bit more of like a horror sort of scary story sort of yokai. She is called the Kuchisakeonna, or the slit mouth woman. Basically, she appears to children as a woman in a surgical mask, and that is not actually that unusual of a sight in Japan. A lot of people wear these masks whenever they're sick, or if they just didn't have time to put their makeup on and they just want to quickly run out without anyone looking at their face, basically. And what she'll do is she'll ask the person she appears to if they think that she's pretty. If they answer yes, she'll pull down her surgical mask and show them this huge gash in her face. And then depending on what you say after that, she will either cut you in half or cut the slit into your mouth as well. That is the story that goes along with this scary yokai. There's a few different ways that you can supposedly beat her. You can either say that she's just normal looking and she'll not be sure what she should do. Other stories say to ask her if she thinks that you're pretty, and the confusion that she will have after that will allow you to escape from her. There's even some stories that if you just throw candy or fruit on the ground that she'll be distracted by it and you can run away, which I think is kind of adorable actually. So I decided to give her this sort of very sweet, cute little white sundress, and I tried to just make her look as disarming as possible since she is an aggressive yokai and I have to sort of temper that if I want her to seem cute. The cut in her face was difficult to draw without it looking too creepy. In the end, I just tried to make it clear that this isn't a giant smile by closing her mouth, and I ended up showing a bit of her teeth through the cut in her face. I still wanted to be true to the actual story while still making her look pretty cute. So generally, I just tried to make her look a little bit shy. Maybe she feels bad about the way that she looks, but in the end, she's still super adorable. I really like drawing her. I gave her long black hair because she's always portrayed with it pretty much exclusively. And then she was basically done. I think she turned out pretty cute, even though she has this rather big cut in her face. Next up is the Kappa. Now, the Kappa is a very famous Japanese folklore character. Whether they're funny or scary sort of depends on the story that you're reading, but basically they're these little like turtle demons. They can also be called kawako, which just means like river child, and they are supposed to be generally the size of a child. So I made this character pretty like small. Someone suggested to make her shell a backpack, so then I went forward with this idea of this sort of like grungy little college student who's like just trying to make it, sort of maybe trying to survive finals or something like that, and kind of in gremlin mode as a result. Every reference picture I looked for had the Kappa clutching these giant cucumbers, so I gave her a cucumber, and honestly it really looks like she's a college student on the verge of a mental breakdown eating cucumbers on the floor. So the whole thing kind of went together really well. I gave her a nice baggy shirt, and I gave her some tights that sort of have like a scale pattern on them because Kappa are supposed to be covered in scales. They're also supposed to smell kind of bad, which also goes with the sort of like dejected college student look, I guess, theme that I put with this character. In general, she's definitely the like sort of nerdiest, most dilapidated looking of the bunch, which I think kind of goes with these very awkward little demon characters. They're also supposed to have a little like bowl of water on their head, but because of the way her head was tipped, I didn't draw it. Also because it really grosses me out. It's not even necessarily supposed to be a bowl, it's supposed to be like part of their body, which kind of makes me ill. It's kind of like tryptophobia, like the fear of holes. The idea of a pond being in somebody's head really grosses me out, and I couldn't draw it. I'm sorry. So for the colors, I tried to go with generally like swampy green and sort of blue toned colors, and I gave her halftone hair just because I thought it would be sort of cute, and I think she wasn't looking cute enough, so I had to add a little bit something stylish to her. Because their eyes are usually super round and like sort of just staring out into nothingness, I gave her round glasses to sort of mimic that. And then with a little bit of blue blush, she was basically done. Let me know if you have any name ideas for her. I really don't know. Last up, we have the Kitsune, and I was actually kind of worried about this one because this is actually, I think, too easy, just because Kitsune are shapeshifters who turn into beautiful women, and also there's a lot of people who draw Kitsune girls with their tails and fox ears, and it's something that's been drawn a lot. I even think there's like a League of Legends character or skin or something like KDA that's sort of designed off of it. I'm sorry, I don't know League of Legends that much, but I've seen very cute sort of pseudo anime girls with these foxtails and ears and stuff, and I just didn't want it to look like just another one of those. So my challenge here was to try to make her look more kitsune than just sort of a generic like hot anime girl with fox ears, you know what I mean? So kitsune are sort of like seductress characters in folklore about them. Sometimes they're drawing men to their ruin, other times they're just potential wives and lovers and stuff, and they like have a net positive influence. It's kind of interesting. It depends on the folklore that you're looking at. So I wanted to give her more of a foxy vibe, just because usually kitsune just have a human face and then fox ears, like I've said, when they transform into human form. They usually keep their little fox feet and fox tails, and with traditional Japanese clothing that is more easy to hide than perhaps with modern clothes. I gave her a sort of like pseudo-Japanese looking outfit, but I definitely changed it up a lot. It doesn't really look like traditional Japanese clothes. And I decided to make her hands and her feet and legs black because a lot of foxes actually do have like black paws, and I was trying to sort of lean into that. I also gave her this like strange masquerade mask underneath the traditional sort of fox mask on her head, and I just tried to generally give her some interesting fox-like coloration on her skin and stuff to sort of make her feel more like a fox character. They also are supposed to have like 7 tails, so I just fanned them out behind her. I turned the tails gray just so there was more contrast between her body and her tails, but I'm not sure if I like it in the end. I was really conflicted about this character, to be honest, just because, yeah, I just didn't want it to look super generic, you know? That's the thing I'm most worried about. So while I think she looks kind of cute, I wish I could change a few things about her in the end. But with that, we're all done. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me turn these yokai into cute girls. Let me know if you have any ideas for future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons, including Bella Story, Cal Pom Pom, Clockwork Construct, Danny H, Dr. Casket, Aleri Alui, Elizabeth Album, Fano, Greer the Animator, Hachiubi, Yara Famoso, Imagine Creations, Ivan Rodriguez, JJJ, Joseph Copel, Katie Alina, Katie Marigold, Blah 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 Blah, Micah Dactyl, Mr. Dr. Pants, Nora Cornelison, Ollie, Rosie Warlock, Rudy, Scott Steffes, Sergeant Pendulum, Some Mediocre Artist, Storm Scribbles, The Artsy Moose, Your Boy ST, and Zoe Stardust.